granniopteryx, she speaks her mind, she don't care what you think. Granniopteryx, granniopteryx, she knows the truth, she's linking every link.
Hello, I saw this Twix here, and it was about a woman. I can't say that word right now. It has to wait until after I've been talking for a couple of minutes. But anyway, there was an attack, and it says here, outside a care home in Romford, which resulted in a demise. And I assumed it was one of the old people. It turned out to be a young woman in her 20s. So what it's got to do with being outside a care home, I don't know. But one of the responses to that was this. I was told by a lefty today, you are more likely to be killed by your husband than a migrant, and that's proved in the statistics. Right, and that's so typically lefty, and I don't understand how anyone can take that as an argument. When I saw that, I thought, I'll just have a look at some statistics and we'll see exactly how right this lefty was. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. Also, just before I carry on, I want to mention the opening jingle. More people like it than dislike it. There are some people who do dislike it, and to you, I apologise. I happen to rather like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put it up there. But it did answer a serious problem I had, which I knew I had it, but I didn't know how to deal with it until this very generous subscriber sent me that tune. And the thing is that I was on the demo last year and I was recognised by several people, and almost all of them said the same thing. Oh, I know you. You're, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. Right, and I thought, now, if you can't remember my name, then if you just want to have a look at my videos and you're not a subscriber, you're not going to remember how to get to me, are you? So at that point, I realised there was a bit of a problem. I wasn't sure how to deal with it. And then that opening jingle came along and I realised this is one way to deal with it. So all you subscribers who don't like the jingle, please be patient and tolerant with me. I'm hoping that might help my channel. Right, okay, so I've told you what I'm going to be talking about. You're more likely to be in an awkward situation with a husband than with a migrant. And I've told you about the jingle. And now I'm going to tell you to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Liking is apparently particularly important, and I'd appreciate that. Also, if you want to contribute financially, well, you all know my situation. Most of my spare cash just goes up in, well, hay, basically. I was going to say up in smoke, but oh no, you mustn't mention that around a stable. All right, so that's it. All the links to any financial contributions are in the description. Right, let's hear Granniopteryx roar, and then I'll be talking about how likely you are to be in an unpleasant situation with a husband or a migrant. Okay, so I saw this. I was told by a lefty today, you're more likely to be killed by your husband than a migrant, and it's proved in the statistics. So I thought I'll have a look at the statistics, because lefties are frequently saying things are proved in statistics, and when asked for those statistics, they can't produce them. And I went to the Office of National Statistics, which is the place you get statistics, And I found this. How many illegal migrants have been charged with murder or attempted murder in the UK since the year 2000 up to the present Wednesday, the 12th of August 2020? This was, a question. And their answer was, thank you for your inquiry regarding the numbers of illegal migrants that have been charged with murder since 2000 to 2020. Unfortunately, we do not hold the information that you have requested. So it's a bit difficult for me to find some answers to that. And I'm quite sure just as difficult for that Lefty to find the answers to that as well. However, I thought instead of doing that, instead of talking about migrants, how about domestic incidents? But per ethnicity. This is an article in the Guardian. No, it's the BBC. Well, what's the difference? Honour crime, 11,000 UK cases recorded in 5 years, and this was July 2015. This is the Guardian from 2021, so 6 years later. Honour-based offences have soared by 81% in the last 5 years. So there is a lot of honour killings, and honour killings tend to be a characteristic of Asian families and domestic situations, aren't they? Some Hindus do it, I know that, but most of the names I've seen for honour killings that have been reported in the papers, they've been Muslim names. It says here, in the year ending March 2024, there were 108 domestic homicides in England and Wales where the victim was killed by a partner or ex-partner, 83 women, 25 men. This means 66 women were killed by their partners or ex-partners. Now we have, let's say, 85 million. I mean, they won't tell us exactly, but we have 85 million people in the United Kingdom, and 66 as a percentage of 85. Well, I went on to the online percentage calculator and it just gave me 0 because that's so infinitesimal. So being killed by a domestic partner in this country is an infinitesimal number. They just gave me zeros. I mean, there will be a percentage, but the online calculator didn't have enough zeros to push it past the decimal point. However, population of Britain, well, that's 80 million, that's 85 million. I don't know why I put 80 million there, but let's just say 80 million. There are estimated to be 12 to 15 so-called honour killings in Britain every year. Population of Muslims in Britain, 3.5 million. So if it's 15, and these are only the ones they catch, there are some who just don't get reported as honour killings for one reason or another. They're made to look like accidents. Population of Muslims in Britain, 3.5 million. 15 is 0.0004% of the 3,500,000 Muslims in the country. So whereas the number of domestic murders in Britain is infinitesimal, and this would include some Muslims, there is a measurable number, percentage number for Muslims in this country. Out of 3.5 million, 15 are domestic deaths, domestic murders that we know about. So that Lefty there says you're more likely to be killed by your husband than a migrant. Well, if you're a Muslim, you certainly are much more likely to be killed by your husband, because it appears to be a small but significant characteristic of Muslim culture. And since most of the migrants are Muslims, I'd say that this number is not going to go down particularly quickly. So statistically, yes, you're more likely to be killed by your husband than a migrant, because there are 24 million husbands. Let's get that figure up again. There are 24 million married people in England and Wales. And although the government appears to be doing its best, we're still not up to 24 million migrants. Right, well, I think that more or less sorts that out. Till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.